most people don't think that they're uh, the next step away from being homeless, but they are, especially with the ever increasing prices of rent. Uh, there can be one day where you won't be able to afford rent and you're going to become homeless. And with the Supreme Court siding with Grant Pass, Oregon, saying that cities can arrest people for sleeping in public, even if there's not enough beds, shelter beds for homeless people to sleep in, that means you can be going to jail for sleeping on the streets because you're homeless because rent is too high for you to afford.
We're in the midst of an affordable housing crisis. And as rents increase nationally, so do the number of eviction notices. According to the website Zillow, rents have jumped more than 30% from pre-pandemic prices. In tonight's Eye on America, CBS's Chris.
30% is extremely high. Um, for, being since, 2019. That's just like 5 years ago, where the price of rent has almost doubled. And since wages haven't increased, barely any, like, how are people supposed to afford rent when they cannot pay for it? When one job does not pay for renting a house. When you used to, uh, a single person's income could afford a mortgage payment on buying a house. Nowadays, you can't even rent a house.
Chris Van Cleve reports from one of the hardest hit counties, Maricopa County, Arizona, where a tsunami of evictions is leaving people homeless.
When Mahogany Kennedy knocks at a door in Phoenix,
Constable! Does the person understand that they're getting evicted?
it usually means someone is about to become homeless.
Grab your bag. We're going to change the locks.
She's one of 26 Maricopa County constables. It's her job to serve eviction notices.
Eviction numbers have truly gone up over the past few months.
So pretty much every day you're evicting people?
Every day I'm evicting, 5 days a week.
On this day, she'll attempt to
5 days a week, she's evicting people. And the same people that she's evicting from a house, she will eventually be arresting for sleeping in public because there's not enough beds for people to sleep in that are homeless. There's several thousands of homeless people in the United States, and only a few thousand beds uh, throughout the United States and homeless shelters for people to sleep in. So what are the people supposed to do when a city is full up on shelter beds? They're going to sleep outside. So if it's illegal to sleep outside, then that means they're criminals for being homeless.
serve 3 evictions,
She's gone.
including at this apartment,
Well, this is a 3-bedroom apartment.
which used to be home to 7 people.
You can use my phone.
Heaven Glasgow was the last to leave.
Just trying to get it together. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a lot.
It is, and everything is just so expensive right now, which is crazy.
Eviction
Yeah, if you're not like the top 1%, you're pretty much one step away from homelessness. I mean, top 10% probably are better off. Top 1,000. But, most average working Americans are one step away from homelessness. Uh, the moment your landlord says, hey, your rent is this much and you can't afford that, you're going to be homeless. Or the moment you get injured at work, you got the potential to be homeless. Maybe you develop some kind of illness or disease, you can become homeless. And when that happens, that means you can go to jail just for sleeping.
Eviction filings in the Phoenix area are surging to record highs.
You know, I was just like, not today. Not today, please.
This judgment does say that you need to move out by the 26th.
In her South Phoenix courtroom, Judge Anna Huberman hears as many as 500 eviction cases a month, more than when the pandemic-era eviction moratorium ended 3 years ago.
There was a belief that there would be a large number of filings, that the evictions would go up, and they did not go up. There wasn't a tsunami.
Do you think you're getting that tsunami of evictions now?
That's what it appears to be, yes.
Since March of last year, Maricopa County has led the
Well, yeah, the landlords waited until they were actually able to evict people for lack of payment or whatever, because the moratorium didn't actually say people didn't have to pay. It just delayed the rent payments until the moratorium was over, so it just had people stack up a large amount of debt, which they couldn't pay because the COVID relief aid did not cover that whatsoever. That's something that the government failed at doing, was actually hoping to actually provide for people during COVID.
nation in eviction filings. The numbers are up 21% here compared to pre-pandemic, topping 83,000 filings. Nationally, about 3.6 million evictions are filed annually, but what's changing is where they're happening. At least 14 cities have seen double-digit increases from 2019. Most are in the Sun Belt, where populations are growing and rents are rising.
It's parents and children who are at the heart of the eviction crisis.
Dr. Carl Gershenson runs the Eviction Lab at Princeton University, which tracks the issue in 34 cities.
So these families are just one unexpected expense away from eviction.
Schedule a time and come get whatever.
Yeah, like he was saying, just one unexpected expense, one random paycheck, and you can get homeless. This is something people have been saying for decades now, where you're one step away from being homeless. There's a lot of people that don't realize that, and then they become homeless and they're like, wow, I never expected this to happen to me. But yeah, everybody working can become homeless the next day, and there's nothing stopping that.
else that you need in the house.
Christopher Aranda lived with his girlfriend in this home for 7 years.
So this is what you need right now.
The lease was in her name when she lost her battle with cancer in January. After not working for months to care for her, Aranda says he couldn't come up with the $3,000 needed to stay.
How are you feeling today?
A lot of memories. It is what it is.
Where are you going to go?
Yeah, this is really messed up. This dude has lost his spouse from cancer, and now he's going homeless, and he's gonna end up going to jail for sleeping on the streets. And is this because of his own fault? No. But how a lot of society is going to see it is, oh, he's homeless, he must be a drug addict. No, it's because a dude lost his wife to a disease and became homeless. Our society needs to change in order to prevent stuff like this from happening. It is messed up how the United States can claim to be like the richest nation in the world, and then you have the most vulnerable people becoming homeless.
I have no idea. I got to start from scratch.
Starting over as Constable Kennedy heads to another door with another eviction order. For Eye on America, Chris